Vamos, Tommy boy. Here we are, back with episode 4. How we doing?
I'm good, mate. How's yourself?
All well, mate. All well. I did have a couple of beers last night. Una cerveza. I've got a wee bit of sore head. Una sore head.
Does your coach know?
Nah. Well, to be fair, I'm actually alright.
Right.
I'm okay. I was in bed early, so
Good.
we're here. It's all about balance, like we're always talking about.
You're right, mate. You're right.
So you've got to go and enjoy yourself as well. Speaking of which, today's episode, what we're going to have it on today?
Today's episode is about long-lasting results, how to get them, how to manage them, and what they can mean for you.
Good. I think anyone listening to this, we aren't going to go into complete depths as such, but just things that have always helped us going forward. Areas that we felt have benefited our life and for what we want to achieve, and hopefully they can help you as well. So first things first, shout outs.
Yes, shout out, of course, the sponsor.
New announcement for us, big announcement, people.
We have nobody. When I had to think long and hard about it because I forgot and I remembered we have no sponsors. So shout out to nobody.
Because we're still two scuddies at the end of the day.
Aye, we are. Aye, that's true.
So anyway, fuck it. We'll get a wee bladder anyway.
Aye, we will. We can see what we can make happen.
What have we got first? Letters from last week, and we'll get stuck in.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So, I actually don't have my letter on me, but I know what my question is. And I'm going to answer it for you. So, you asked me last week, has my definition of happiness changed throughout the time period that you know me? Yeah?
Yep.
So, yes, it has, inevitably. Because happiness used to be, like I've said in about every pod up until now, a joint, bag of hula hoops, and 12,000 FIFA points. Happy as Larry with that. No. There was a lot more to that, but...
Do you know the amount of people that have come up to me, mate, and they're like, what the fuck's wrong with hula hoops? Nothing. I'm just having a laugh.
I've got stick for the PlayStation, to be fair, in the gym. A few people have said to me, oh, but you know, are you too good for FIFA now and whatever? I'm like, yes I am. But you know, nah, I'm kidding. But aye, the definition of happiness has changed, mate, because
My job's going well then if I've got you away for that PlayStation.
you're a life coach, mate, honestly. So yeah, it used to be kind of what we've spoke on before, that fast relief, that fast access to something, and it just feels good, you know, and then it's moved forward, and I was happy with that. In a wee bit more detail, I view happiness as moments now.
Yep.
It's actually, I can't remember who said it, but it was a few years ago I watched it, just kind of when I first started training and stuff, like, and try and appreciate the moments, gather them, put them as a memory, always know that they're there, kind of thing. So, like, happiness to me is getting up in the morning, go on my walk, tunes in, podcast on, whatever it may be, going to work. Like, I know that's not, people are like, oh man, raging, I'm not happy that I have to go to work today. Well, fucking change job, find something that makes you happy. I know that's not always the case, you can't do everything that makes you happy, that's not how life works, but aye, that, training, of course, very happy when I'm training, but overall, mate, I'm actually happy with my life.
Yep.
I'm appreciative for everybody about me.
I can tell that, mate.
So,
That's why I asked it.
aye,
It's like you said, it's more things and moments. Like that's you look back and you go, oh, you think about the actual experience of it, whether it's with people you love or friends or moments like this. Where you go, you don't care about the wee daft things like what you were wearing, the t-shirt that you fucking bust your ass to go and buy. That it's those wee, as I said, the moments in time that make you go, fuck, that actually meant so much to me looking back. So
yep.
I'm glad with that. Good. You asked me, you remember?
Yes. The best piece of advice that you would give your younger self?
What would I tell myself? The man you're trying to become is more important than the man you once were. I think that's, if I tell myself something, I'd say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think more like years ago, I used to be quite bad for looking back at myself and going, oh, I can't believe you handled that situation in that way. Like, I can't believe you didn't navigate around it a wee bit better, because like, as you mature, you kind of look back and go, I could have done a wee bit better there. But it's probably took me looking back and going, that experience, whether it was a bad experience, a poor experience, made you who you were.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about, you can't change them for a start, obviously, but it's more those unwelcome experiences, the things that maybe, you know, you could do better now, is the thing that makes you obviously grow.
Yep.
Like and that, I might look back in 10 years' time and go, I could have done that better and that better, but the fact that you're still able to assess things and get better is important for me. But it's also, as I said, it allows me to see, like, as I'm looking forward, am I trying to be better? Am I giving it my all? Do I see where I'm trying to go? Yeah, I do. So I think that's the most important thing, that I'm not looking back and beat myself up about things, rather than going, right, I'm at least trying here. And I think, like we always say, like, good things will come if you're just opting to try and better yourself every day. So that'd be mine.
That's a good bit of advice,
Don't get in your head too much. I think it's easy to do that, over-critique yourself. Like, you're human. You make mistakes. You apologise mostly to yourself, anyone that you've kind of let down in that along the way. But I make no as if I'm a right bad bastard. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand what you mean, mate, I do. And it's great advice to give yourself, it is.
Why? That'd be that. Anyway, on with the pod.
Yes.
First things first, I think we'll go through a lot of stages of this just now, but I want to kind of put anyone listening in your position first, and it's not to highlight, oh, you were at this point, and it's more to say, right, Tommy was at a position that was really tough to get out of, and you can do that as well. Like, you are very, very capable.
Yep.
So let's take it back. You're a 25 stone guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in a good headspace in terms of training, all the things we're talking about, feeling better about yourself.
Yep.
What's the first move? We talk a lot about when I first got you on board, it was goal setting, which can be sound a bit like cliche and all that, but it's important because we need to know if we're time scaling or moving in the right direction, or what's it for? Is it for the ultimate? Is it for happiness? Is it for aesthetic reasons? Is it whatever? So what was your mindset when you first came into this? You went, do you know what, I'm going to try something here.
Mate, being brutally honest, fucking dreading it to start with. And I feel like that's inevitably, that's the hardest step. It's like the start of anything. The start in the morning when you need to get up and people feel that way, and it's like, oh, another day. Or the first day in a new job, that nervous feeling. The hardest bit about going to the gym is getting up and going to the gym. Again, another stereotype, but it's true. Like, that's why it's that. So, when I first started, I'm kind of happy it just planned out this way, but I was very fortunate to go to the gym as like a kind of rebound to everything that I'd been doing, and fucking love it straight away. So I was fortunate. Do you know what I mean? That was, but the build up to that, it wasn't like just, I was lying in my bed one night and decided the next day, right, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. It was over months. I was thinking, I should probably start something. I might start boxing, or I might go back to the hit squad. Do you know what I mean? That there was so many thoughts, but they were all just put in the back passage, thinking, nah, and having those negative thoughts. So, first of all, I think you need to be willing to try new things and see what works for you.
Yep.
From there, you can advance. So, in my position, what I done was I started training. I got a coach. I found a gym where...
A wanker of a coach.
I found a gym where...
You had a coach before me, by the way.
I did. That is right.
Did you have to?
I did. I done one session with a PT years ago.
I didn't know that.
So
I was
then,
calling myself a wanker.
No, I did. I had a coach years ago for one session, and I left and you know the outcome. It was across from a cake shop. You know how it ends. And I'm not even kidding. But anyway, so
you're like, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah. Cross that road.
Right into a sticky toffee, man. Fucking brilliant. Anyway, so yes, got a coach, found a gym where I felt comfortable training and stuff like that, which I feel can be quite a big one for people because gym anxiety is obviously quite a big thing for a lot of folk. From there, I started mapping out what stages are next. So, for instance, after getting a coach, me and you laid out plans to be like, right, we're sitting at 25 stone now. How do we move forward for here? Adjust nutrition, add some cardio, change the way I was training. With that, changed my lifestyle.
Yep.
Because it's not... Maybe for a lot of people, it's just a case like, I want to get in shape for aesthetic reasons, or I want to lose a bit of weight or whatever. Where for me, it had to be a lifestyle change, mate. I didn't have a say in the matter. Like, I was fucking out of breath tying my shoelaces, mate. It was an issue. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's no the case of just I go to the gym training, that's it, done. So they were the first initial few steps. So they were. Of course, I'm still taking more steps in the lead up to that. The timescale of things now, looking at it, has been very important.
Speaking of which, you're going to put your steps up this week.
Are you?
Aye.
Mate, what for? I end up, who's that boy that walked Africa? What's his name? Know what I'm talking about? I'm messaging him, man. I have no word with him, mate. I may as well do that with him.
With trainers do you use?
Mate, I'm no. What
Anyway,
for?
sorry, I'm taking you off tangent. You crack on there. Just so you've got that in your head.
Aye, brilliant.
So you started, the steps are going in the
right direction, yeah. And with that, everything starts to feel better. So you lose a bit of that gym anxiety when you start to feel better. I did anyway, speaking on my part, because you're a wee bit more social. You've met some folk in the gym. You feel comfortable in it. The stages after that of looking better, feeling better. Some people love getting complimented. Some people hate it. Either or. I do like getting, of course, I like getting complimented. I don't know, I always feel a bit like, I don't know if it's nervous or like embarrassment. Maybe know the word for it. Do you understand what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, right, okay, stop talking about me. What's happening with you? But I think that's just me as a person, mate. That's just the way I'm.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. See, when folk comment on my appearance or like thing like that, it fucking freaks me out a wee bit. Because I just think, no, it doesn't freak me out. I appreciate it. That's not fair, but
I understand, but
I also think that no, there's more to me than just my appearance.
Yeah,
I know you obviously need to kind of bring me that, but I appreciate when people say it. But I'm almost like, don't just think that's me. I feel like you just compliment my fucking big biceps. Or whatever. I do like. I've got a mad obsession with aftershaves.
Yeah, I know you do.
So I collect aftershaves. So if anyone doesn't know, and it's a big problem.
What's your favourite aftershave?
Doesn't matter right now.
Right, okay.
Okay. I'm gatekeeping them. I want to tell them no. We'll discuss that later.
Right, okay.
But I love, see when somebody says you're smelling good,
but
you weren't. I love that.
Do you?
It's got a wee bit of passion about it, but I don't like people like comment on my appearance as such. It just doesn't. I feel a bit awkward. So, I can get that.
Aye, it's a strange feeling.
No, it's nice to. It is nice to know.
Yeah,
that's not me saying that. Don't you dare fucking tell me I'm looking good. But it's I'd rather you smelt me.
Shake your hand, man. Smell brilliant today, mate.
Good, right? On with the session. But obviously you got to that point. You were goal setting.
Yeah.
Everything started to move in the right direction, and I think, look, with me coaching you at that point, I had to look at you and go, right, what's Tommy capable of? And I think I always try and apply this to all my clients, even to myself, like the art of showing up, and that comes from being realistic.
Yes.
I think that's something that you want to discuss. If you're listening to this and you want to really kind of focus on getting good results, you've got to be realistic. And like I was with you, if I told you at the start, like I said to you, putting your steps up, I wouldn't do anything that I didn't feel you aren't capable of.
Yep.
But at the start, you weren't capable, you were nowhere near capable of what you're doing now. So you need to build that. You need to build that good relationship with yourself. You need to build a good rapport. You need to improve your fitness. So I think the art of showing up was good for me. To, obviously, to you say, Tommy, you're going to come train with me once, twice a week. You're going to train once yourself because you're comfortable and capable of doing so, or with a friend or whatever it may be. And then we started building on it. So if you are somebody who is, I find that like every time you have to progress, something has to give. So the art of showing up was always good. So if I tell somebody, like, if you are training 2 times a week and you need to train a third time, sometimes just getting to the gym that third time is a good start. Getting out of your bed that wee bit earlier, going train in the morning, or even later on, but turning up first is important. You can start to improve things in that as you go. But did you feel that just slowly building your relationship up with the gym, building up like your training was important?
Aye, 100%. Actually, quite relevant you saying that, because through the week, I had a situation that was similar to that. On Thursday it was, I was mobbed, mate. I had so much to do between work and whatever else, man, and I was just trying to kind of stay out in the price kind of thing. And I like being in the gym for maybe like an hour and 15, an hour and a half, and I only had like 35, 45 minutes in the gym. And when I left, I was kind of beating myself up about it a wee bit. And as I was on the way home, I kind of got the reminder to myself, like, listen, this is good. Like, you went to the gym, you still trained, you still got the work done. It maybe wasn't absolutely perfect or whatever else, but I know for a fact years ago I'd have just been like, leave that tonight, along with probably a few other tasks that I had to do. So, showing up is, well, it's the most important part, because you're not going to get any results if you don't show up, mate. You've got to show up, and you've got to show up for yourself. Know what I mean? I think we've spoken about this before. You've got to want it. You've got to want to do it. Inevitably, you do. It's the idea of things always sounds better than doing them. Not to say doing them isn't good, but
people want the prize from the
it's
the bit in between the grind. I know you said to me the other week, you sent me a picture, I think you put it in your story, and you were like, I don't feel too good now. As in, like, I feel like flat, a bit behind me, and I get excited when you say these things. I always say the exact same thing to you every time. Like, I've done this so long, I know what happens. So by the end of the week, something good's going to come. And you were like, well, I can say it to you now. I think the first couple of times I said it to you, you're a bit like, no, but I said, one more day. Just go train. I remember when you were about 6 months in, I'm like, go and train tomorrow. You came in, you were like, I had fucking such a good session there. I went, good. By the end of the week, you felt amazing. The exact same thing happened again 2 weeks ago. It was about 2 weeks ago, something you put it up. And you were like, you put a story up, you're like, I feel flat, I feel, and I'm like, rubbing my hands going, something good's going to happen this week. You're like, I'm trying to tell you I look shit. And I'm like, no. And but by the end of the week, you didn't even tell me, you put up a story saying this is the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
I'm like, told you.
Aye.
Every time. I see it all the time. Life, training, relationships. Before you achieve anything, don't think it's just a plain sailing. Like, the hard time comes, and then there's this, that whole, like, do you really want it kind of attitude, and that's when I say to you, right, knuckle down.
Aye.
Like,
and I put my trust in you as a coach doing that, mate.
So you got to obviously learn people's mindset more than anything, but it's that always will be there. Aye. You will always have that thought, and this is why I'm a bit like, your mind can sometimes try and play a wee bit of tricks on you, take it easy, or relax. Like, see if you can press through that wee bit, you always get something better from it, and it's always before something really good comes. You have this wee period, whether it's a day, a week, of just like, oh, do I really want to be doing this? And then it comes good.
It kind of ties in with something that I was going to like say to you along the way, like believing and being honest with yourself. So having the belief that, like in this instance, having the belief that what you're saying is right, having the belief in, if I go to training tomorrow and be honest with myself and go in and train hard, it's got to amount to a result somewhere. Whether that be tomorrow, whether that be 6 weeks down the line, no matter what it is, it's going to amount to that. And that's a big part. That's something that you told me quite a while ago.
Like you said, look, if you, let's say you are back to where you were, was belief a thing you didn't have a lot of?
None.
Right.
Zero, mate.
So what's changed there? What helped you? If you're a listener just now, if you're some, what helped you build belief in yourself that you are capable of more, that you can push yourself on? What you're a year and a half since you've been working with me roughly, and we've known each other. What's led to this? Because ultimately you had to leave parts of the old Tommy behind.
Yep.
And believe that you could be the person you are now. So, like we spoke about kind of training, that was there something a bit more internal that's went, do you know what, like, I am capable of this, and what influenced that?
I had a mindset of, it wasn't I want to do this, it was to start with. I take that back. It was I want to do this, and it became a point where it's like I've got to do this, because again, you, my friends, people about me made me kind of believe it was possible. But like we always say, it's great having the support, and I'm forever appreciative of everybody that does support me in that sense. But you've got to believe it yourself, and unfortunately, this was the case for me. It may not be for everyone else. I wish it was just for the get-go. I had that belief I can do this. When I slowly started to see like changes in my physique, changes in my health, changes in my fitness, the weights were going up, my body weight's coming down, all the wee stuff. When I started going, right, okay, let's roll with this. Like, let's kind of keep going. Let's be honest in the sense of, don't kid myself on and kid on I can do this today, which we've all done before. I've went in and lifted weights that I probably shouldn't have touched and whatever. That's just part of life, that's training. But having the belief in eating this fid's the right thing. Even though a salt and chili chicken tastes 10 times better, eating this is the right thing. Do you know what I mean? It's no, like, sometimes you convince yourself, or I used to convince myself of, not a big deal, until it is. So, believing that the goals I set were realistic, believing that the process that I'm following is the right process to follow, kind of what we've just spoke about there. The phases that we're going through, believing that this has got to take me to this. So this has got to lead me here. And I wasn't too forward thinking at that point. Maybe now a bit more forward thinking in the sense of, after I get here, I know where I want to be. Yep. I want the next step where, like you just said a minute ago, one more day, one more step, one more goal, tick it off, deal with it then, get to the next one.
And with that, I feel like you sometimes just need to accept that you don't know what you're doing, but you're going to try it anyway.
Aye.
So, like, would they be, like, a lot of the time we are just winging it. I mean, it's not that we don't have goals and we don't set out, but if you're waiting for everything to be perfect, you're never going to get anywhere. You can work, you can learn as you go. So I think this is important to just, how cliche it might sound, is just start doing something.
Aye.
You take away the goodness that can come from it if you just start to focus on the wee things. I think all you have to do, and I think that is why you're so happy, is because you compare yourself to how you were this time a year and a half ago, and we're talking like 9 stone with a difference. Like, I always say that in the podcast, like, that's a human weight you've lost. So I mean, like, that is so impressive. Like, so many people are like, take their hat off to you. But what allows you not to feel like you're not enough, or you've not done enough? Because that's the dangerous part for some people. Work so hard, they do so much, they go on Instagram, they look at things and go, oh fuck, all this effort and I'm getting nowhere. So,
kind of going back off the back of honesty, again, I think it was a podcast I'd listened to, but I'm not about to listen to me as if I'm going to promote it, as if there's thousands listening. I mean, hopefully there is, but anyway, it's talking about confidence and how confidence is just blatant honesty. Like, just being so clearly honest and no having anything there. Leading from the mistakes. Because mistakes are going to happen. Like, they're going to happen in every aspect of life. Like you just said, it's the holiday and the relationship dynamic back home, and it's all over the place. But you see the holiday, but you don't see that. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very lucky for everybody. I've said this before and whatever, but my life's always been chaotic. Like, my house has always been the house to come to and whatever else. So I'm kind of used to dealing with the madness and the distraction of things and whatever else, and it used to consume me, whereas now I just block it, mate. It's just like put the blinders on that, which is hard to do. It's easy for me to say that. Everybody deals with that in different ways, but it's something that I was able to do.
Yep.
I still feel like, know that I'm not enough, but I know that we've only had starters, mate. Men's to come. Like, there's plenty left to go for. Do you know what I mean? No, no dessert. Aye, that's why. There's a big part of me that knows that everything's rolling the right way now. So we need to keep it going that way as much as we can, no matter what comes up.
And if you are somebody that is starting, I found it myself as well, that if you are somebody that's maybe trying to put on muscle, gain size, even lose weight, it's not a nice thing for me to say, but it takes fucking ages. Like, it takes long. And a lot of people problem, I feel, is you're dealing in days when there's guys dealing in decades.
Yep.
So
Love that.
I've trained for 10 years. Like, you're coming in, you're training for 6 weeks, which is admirable. You're off to a good start. But you can't compare yourself to a guy that's trained for 10 years. Like, I can't look at an Olympia athlete or any of these people and go, oh, miles ahead and blah, 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 I've done this. This does take time. And if you just keep focusing on this end result, which you don't know will even come anyway, it's going to be a miserable bit of time. So I think that's always important when you start, is take a bit of pressure off yourself. Like, section things up. Where were you 6 months ago? Where are you now? Over time, that's as I said, like, those days become weeks, months. Before you know, you are 5 years, 10 years down the line, and you look so much better. Like, I always, because I enjoy this so much now, I get excited to the fact that how will you look in 5 years? Like, it's such a good thing to think about. And as I said, I take excitement for that, because people will, like, get themselves so wound up that they aren't quite there yet, and ultimately you're going to just feel deflated if you don't. But I think if you are starting out, like, what would you tell somebody so they can mitigate that? Because I think it's also important to find out that if you are going to do this, how do you want to do it? Are you wanting, like, again, like, are you comparing yourself to guys that don't go out, don't do anything? Of course they're going to get better results than you, but you need to build something that's long term.
Yeah.
We've kind of touched on that, but like we said, I had a drink last night. Would I be getting better results if I didn't? Of course, but it was the first time I was with my mates and how all of us together for a christening. Like, it just felt right to go and have a drink. What is it going to damage my results? Yes, but I am totally fine with that. You know what I mean? Whereas you have to be able to accept these things and accept that. Do you know what? That was present enough. I enjoyed that. It was great. I'm not going to progress this week the way I thought I would, but we go again.
So thank God you've said that, because I'm about to soften the blow a wee bit here. So I had a drink too, funnily enough. I had a drink on Friday. Aye. Me and my missus went bowling.
Friday
night.
You doing drinking on a Friday?
No, mate. Do you know what? Like you just said, has it got to affect it this week? Yes. If my steps went up, yes. But
fucking Dublin.
I don't need to, because you've said everything for me. But
were you drinking at a bar in a bowling club? A bowling club?
Yep, aye. Me and my missus went bowling, mate. A few Despies up the road. Opened the Hennessy. Coke Zero Cherry. Oh, Tony boy. Lovely, mate. So I had a few of them with some Hennessy. Aye, put the feet up.
Fly bastard, and I spoke to you all day Saturday as well. No, a piece of that.
I was just waiting.
Wait a minute, actually, I was meant to train with you on Friday night. And you can't.
Nah, that was
no. Fucking get a funny joke.
No. No,
I was being sorry, can't make it. I tamed him a Todd.
No, it wasn't like
You're
that.
sitting fucking spraying desperados about.
It wasn't like that. Mate, honestly, just quickly, this is very off subject. Wait till I tell you. I'll tell you after the episode. Doesn't matter. I'll tell you now. I done a walk half strike. Like, as in, was walking backwards, acting smart, turned round, boom, the wee hangs were up, right? But that's not the point. Aye. I was also using the wee ball, so I was, because I felt bang, man, right down the alley. But aye, on Friday I had a few scoops, so I did. Was it worth it? Yes it was, because you gave me my steps before it anyway, so it was totally worth it.
But I think we'll talk later about this, Tommy. But if you want to get good results,
yeah,
if you want to take that kind of, I say that to you as well. If you can't do it for a day, if you can't do it for a lifetime, don't do it for a day. And that's not to say that things won't be harder at points and easy, but you have to build something that's got some sort of structure to it.
Of course.
Like, before you know it, you're a hermit that doesn't want to go out, and your missus is like, oh, we used to do nice things together, and you. So you have to meet yourself where you're at. If you want to go down that route and get aiming for being Mr. Olympia, of course, you go for that.
Yes.
Our lifestyle's different. Like, we want to use our fitness to benefit our life. By all means, we love what we do. We love training. But, like you said, we need to do something that ultimately is going to bring us happiness. And I think, like you say, we get a laugh when we say things that... But that's what this is all about. It's not just... oh, we come in here and we train 5 times a week and we don't leave the house, because that's my idea of fucking hell.
Same, mate.
Like, and that's not me saying I don't appreciate people that do, because that's, I'm in that, and obviously the fitness industry, and that's admirable, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want to look back and go, I done absolutely nothing for an extra couple of inches on my chest or my arms or whatever it may be, and just devoid myself of relationships, good times.
Yep.
You have to be able to know what one's right and what one's thingy, but look, when it is good, right to do it. But
yeah,
if you are starting this, go on with the fact is that this is to benefit my life. Of course, sacrifice will come along the way, but it's important to build something that you can take a lot from. But like you said, you can't compare yourself to the people that are just tunnel vision, like, this is what I want, because you're not got, like, you know they're going to progress further, but you're also, everything in life's a trade-off.
This is what I was about to say. We spoke about this episode 1.
Life's a trade-off, so if you want to look a certain way, you need to lose other parts that you maybe can't go and have that drink with your friends. So what are you willing to trade? That is the most important thing about this.
Aye.
In the same breath, look, it works the other way. If you are very unhappy, you can trade that in. Like, you can actually go, do you know what? It's a hard thing to do, but I'm going to try and navigate and do something a bit better for myself here.
Yeah. And
just get things in the right direction. I think that was important for you. We traded in a lot of shit.
Oh,
like,
I know.
And we've...
barrel loads it, mate. There was, full wheelbarrow full. No, you're right. There definitely was. And that's kind of what I was going to say off the back of that. Like, is not going out with your girlfriend or not going out with your mates or with your family, whatever it may be, to have a few extra inches in the biceps or your chest. Is that worth it? In the same sense of, I was the opposite end, where it was... it's got to be the fattest joint smoke on Bell's Hill, mate. Like, it's...
will teach you that, like, knowing what's right and what's wrong. And I think communicating with people, especially if you're going to start training and working towards, is huge. Like, I done that very poorly when I was younger. Like, you have to be able to just express how you feel, lean on people, because ultimately the people around you, I've not got a lot of them, but the ones I do, I love so much. So you have to have a wee bit of transparency, going, do you know what, see right now, I can't quite do that, but this thing I'm going for means so much to me internally. Bear with me, and we'll do X, Y, and Z, rather than just this whole, like, attitude of, no, this fucking has to get done. Like, it has to be the people you're around you. I'm a kind of big believer in that. You don't know when life can change. So when you are with them, make sure you're being, as I say, being transparent with it. Make sure you've got that, you know what, I'm moving in the right direction here, but we will, at this point, we'll do this, we'll do that. Like, that was obviously big for me, and I try and teach you that. But I don't think it's working because I don't think you were transparent with me on Friday, Tommy. But hey ho.
I always had it in my head to tell you.
Aye.
So I did. It was probably got to be in my check-in. Then that way I'd started working. You couldn't phone me like, you bastard. But I agree with what you're saying, mate. And there's always, for people starting out, you've got to evaluate that. It's something that was important that I probably didn't do at the start, that I feel like maybe if I did, I could be a wee bit further. Am I going to beat myself up about it? No, because
It's learning, isn't it?
that's it. That's it.
I think about, like, no matter how much you want something, how much you think you want it, and this is what I think it's so important to find a coach, one that you like, one that you get, one that is actually good at educating people. Because this whole thing is education.
Yeah.
Like, what you were doing before, you could argue that you knew it was wrong or anything like that, but you didn't have the education to pull yourself out it.
Aye.
So you made a move to educate yourself, you get a coach. That is so important, and I always use that comparison speaking to clients. Like, my client's an electrician, and I turn up, I don't have a clue what to do.
Aye.
Fitness is the same. Like, you have to be able to, you need to learn along the way. Just not learn to step on stage, but like, these things can all come. There's different levels of education in it, but you need to learn what's right for you, educate yourself, not to just get there, but what keeps you there. I think that's what we do well. I've educated you. Not to, like, you can go out on a Friday, lie about it, but
I never lied. I just never told you.
but no, the next day you've got X, Y, and Z to do.
Aye.
Or the next week when I crack the whip.
Aye.
But
Put
you
my
feel
steps
it?
up.
That was a big thing for you. I'm huge on that. Like, education is massive, but
Yes.
what's your kind of basis on it?
For me now, definitely it is, mate. Aye. And going forward, it's something that, like, even when we went down south and done the course and stuff like that, like, that was a situation that's probably a good example. I was just in over my head, mate. But I was just like, do you know what? I'm going to come down and I'm going to try and learn something new. And that was it. Blindsided.
You don't understand how happy that made me.
Did it, mate?
Like, see, when you start something at any level, you're going to be embarrassed, you're going to be hang me, but this is what I tell anyone, like, see, if you start, see the people that have done it before, they respect you so much more. But in your head, you're thinking, I don't belong here. In our heads, we're thinking, this is fucking amazing. If you're a good person, if you're a good coach, whatever it may be, like, this is what I always tell people, start, because there's so many people that have done it.
Aye.
And they know the goodness that has came into their life from it, so see other people doing it.
Yep.
Like, mate, it just fucking lights something in my soul seeing people do that, because I know the thought process of you and me, and it can happen at any level. This is why I'm so kind of like my life now. Like I said, like, I lost my mate 2 years ago, and I just, like, after it, I was just like, fuck it. Like, fuck everything. Like, go for it. What's the worst that happens? And the more you've done that, you then start to realise, see, as you do it, like, all the people you look up to, they respect you so much more.
Yep.
But the most important thing is you build that respect for yourself, because it's, you know, it's in there, it's internally telling you to go and do it. See, when you do it, it's amazing. And I seeing you do that, it was honestly fucking amazing.
That's class, mate. I'm buzzing with that, man.
And that, like I said, like, I see it all the time in the gym, the person that's lost their kind of, you know, that they're on the process.
Yes.
I'm big on, like, see, if I'm out for dinner, I'm cautiously watching. And I think Molly brought up to me a week, like, Tony, you're always complimenting me, young waiters and young people. I think we were, and I'm like to the wee guy, like, you're doing a great job, mate. Because I just seen him so kind of flustered, and his face just lit up.
Aye.
And it was like, it's more that I've been there. I've been the guy that was so kind of wound up, but that wee boy's went and got a job, and he's trying his hardest. Maybe he's trying to save for his first car. Maybe he's trying to save up to take his girlfriend out, or whatever it may be. See, when I see people just trying to be better, like, it's huge for me, because I know what you went through
Aye.
to make that decision and you send that message and go, I'm going to come to that course with all yous.
Aye.
In the same breath, like equally, there was people at that course that were miles ahead of me,
Aye.
but they done it.
Yep.
And it's, like I said, it's again that next level for you to push on. So I never got the chance to actually say that to you, but that was amazing you'd done that. So
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Can you put my steps down now? No? All right, okay. Well, if I try. So I think there's always room to improve, and obviously I've got a barrel load it, mate. I've got a lot to improve on, and it's always got to be that way. But you, like you say, veteran, 10 year deep in the game, mate. What's stuff that you feel like you can still improve on at this point? Like, what's stuff that you look at and go,
Botox.
do you think so?
Aye, it's 10 year in the game, man.
No.
She keeps telling me every podcast I've got wrinkles in my head.
Oh, that's a sin, mate. I get chinned in the first one, mate, for saying effing brilliant 9 times or something like that. So, I mean,
but again, like, you always will critique things, but
Yeah.
the point is you started the podcast.
that's
And
it.
people appreciate that, and we appreciate that, but you always will, like, take the goodness from it. We're sitting here 4 episodes in and just enjoying it. I think if you are, whether it's podcasting, training, whatever it may be, like, enjoy what you do.
Yep.
So don't set a standard that you can't enjoy it, because ultimately, whether it's CrossFit, weight training, resistance training, juggling, like, see if you love it, you're going to get the most results out of it.
Yes.
And I think that's what I taught you at the start. Let's just find something that you enjoy.
Aye.
I'll teach you how to train hard. We can fix other wee things as we go. Well, that right now, let's just start to get better. And I think the 25 stone Tommy versus how you are now, training hard's totally kind of changed scopes as well.
Completely, mate.
Right now, back then that served you. Right
Yeah.
now, you're needing a wee bit more. Like, we know I couldn't have. You would never have said to me back then, I'm going to come and do a course and do this and do that. But those wee session by session, day by day, you started earning respect for yourself. You felt that you were capable of going and doing things, and there was several wee fuck it moments in there where you think, what's the worst that happens?
Aye.
Like, I'm not quite happy where I am now. There's something in me that's kind of that's telling me to go and do something. Why don't I just listen to it?
Aye.
I think that was how much, like, education, all these things are important. Like, just get in and enjoy it. Like, that's what we do. And that's why we do this podcast, because we want everyone to come on, have a laugh, and ultimately go, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to go and give something a go and see what happens.
My hard sessions then are the ones I beat myself up about now. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Even, like, I remember taking, like, my first videos at the gym. I've never put them up or anything like that, mate. I'll save them for a rainy day. Like, they're just daft. Like, forums off. I'm a big laddie, man, rowing this bar and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And just, like, the way everything was then. But there was nothing wrong with it then. That has led to where I'm at right now. All these sessions. But you just need to remind yourself of that sometimes. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be off days. That's got to happen. Like you just said, it's hard. It takes years. It takes time.
And it's unfortunately, you can't control the cards you're given.
No.
But I was really skinny, and I could just start pushing up weight and learning, and you were heavier.
Mhm.
Like, the cards you've got are inevitable. It's how you do, what you're going to do about it.
Yep.
Like, it might take you a bit longer. It might take someone else. They might get there a wee bit quicker. They might have more people around them to help them. But ultimately, if you don't keep pushing in the right direction,
Mhm.
you're not going to get anywhere. So it's that whole, right, just start,
Yep.
get good, and then go. But I think we also wanted to touch on training itself.
Yes.
How much we're not going to go in depth of, like, programming and all this stuff. But what was right for you at the start? The style of training,
Uh-huh.
the intensity set. What if you were somebody starting out? I see it all the time, people starting the gym, training 6 days a week, and they're all guns blazing. 3 weeks later, they're burnt out, can't be fucked. Like,
the first phone call I had with you, I told you that.
Yep.
First phone call I had with you, I remember saying I've been training 6 days a week. And I remember you being like, right, we'll need to pull that back. Again, because of education, I thought, well, I don't know, I think that's a good thing. That's the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And eat little to F all. And aye, it's ties in with the education side of things, but training, what's important for me for training now is sticking to the plan. This works for me specifically, and this is why everything's been thrown off a wee bit with me hurting my knee, is sticking to my split and knowing on that day I'm going in to train this to, sounds a bit much maybe, but mentally prepare myself knowing that, right, this is what I'm going in today. I'm no too worked up on if maybe something's getting used, I can swap an exercise at what time of the session or whatever, but that's a big thing for me, so it is. And planning my training times, which right now I've kind of got to a T, but life gets in the way, mate. Like we've said, that's things come up, things happen, work, relationships, friendships. There's sometimes you need to juggle a few balls, mate, but aye, we still make it happen.
do you think weight training is your thing? Do you think that's important for somebody? If you are starting out, of course, things change as you go. Maybe some people that start weight training end up in CrossFit or doing high rocks or whatever it may be. Do you feel it's, my view on it is, of course there will be times where you're a wee bit bored, you want to mix out, but I've got a passion for kind of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I love everything that comes with it. And how I could put my spin on it with my kind of lifestyle and everything else. Do you feel it's important if you are starting out to, what I would say is first is stick with it, because like we spoke about earlier, it doesn't take 6 weeks, it takes years. Mm-hmm. So stay in the right path. I see a lot of people when they get bored dead easily, and then they can't, no wonder they're not getting the results they want because they're trying this and doing that, and before you know it, you're like, what are you actually doing? Your head's full of fucking broken bottles.
Aye.
That's, be honest. Mm-hmm. It's quite refreshing. You go, right, I'm going to do this, enjoy it. By all means, I might deviate and try something new, but you need to understand that you won't be progressing the way you can if you're going to get distracted all the time. And I think you went back to jiu-jitsu the other week.
Yep, I did.
And how much I didn't want to, I want you long term being able to do these things. I also said, like, right, let's focus, like you went and hurt yourself, like,
yep.
Right now we've got some goals set in mind here, let's not get distracted from it.
Yes.
And it was probably a good thing. You can look at it and go like that, I can't train for 2 weeks, but it allows me to see it and go, eventually we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
In a way, I started boxing, but one, it doesn't affect my training, and two, I spent years getting big and getting in shape first. I run as well now, but like, so you want to have muscle, or you want to have look a certain way, or like, normally just focusing, like a sole focus on something will get you far better results. And I think we have definitely stayed on track, and that's why I keep relating back to it. You've lost the equivalent of a human, like, and it's like that is so impressive. Like, it's not that it's all about weight, that it just shows that, like, staying on track even when times get a wee bit tough. Like, amazing things come out, like a year and a half, the transformation that I still can't quite show. Hopefully this podcast does it, is how much you've changed as a person, and that's came from just saying, do you know what, push forward, like, stick to, I like my training, I like this, I'm just going to keep battering away with that, and still having the odd drink at the bowling on a Friday. But
take up with Rachel, mate. No, I think this is what I love about bodybuilding so much, bro, and it's very different, and this is why I love it. Just referring back to, is weight's my thing kind of thing. There is no specific blueprint that there's no these set rules and you follow them and that's the only way that it works. It's whatever you make it. It's how you make it work. You don't need to eat the chicken and rice diet. You don't need to drink the milky protein shakes. You don't need to have a bro split. There's so many different ways to navigate it. There's so many different routes to go down. You can peel off and pull off at a side road and try something. You be boxing or running, whatever else. Come back onto the M8 and fly up it. End up at a competition. See how I've done that? I've related it to the motorway and that. But aye, that's why I love it, mate. So it is, because there's so much variance. So much fun to be had. Do you know what I mean? And I get that it's different for people that are looking on the competitive side of things and that, because it does need to be serious. You can still have fun. You could comment on that more than me for experience.
Yep.
But I think that is overall the most important thing if you want a long-lasting result with your training, is you've got to enjoy it, or you've got to at least enjoy the best part of it. I get that you're not going to love every single bit of it, but you don't. The one thing that I would be gutted with is if somebody was like, say my pal, and he'd got in fantastic shape and hated it, and everybody would be buzzing because he got in good shape, and so would I. I would be happy for him too, but I would be like you just said, at what cost, man? Like, you know what I mean?
Aye. Everything starts, you lose relationships, friendships. Like, as I said, I'm an old veteran in the game now. Like, build something that will allow you to be a better person. I think that's a better version of you. Like, I don't know, kind of last section we spoke about, I don't know anybody that's got into this and hated it. I don't know anyone that started training and went, I can't believe I've done that. Like, I can't believe I went and got myself in shape, started the gym, feeling great about myself. Why the fuck did I go and do that? Like, there's only good that comes out. It's only like, in life you can get negatives, but you can also work on and gain positives. Mm-hmm. So I think the gym or training or some sort of thing where you're progressively getting better is a positive. But
I agree.
It's also important to keep in mind, I think we'll kind of, the last wee section to go over is, it's going to be tough. And that whole honesty thing is, like we spoke about at the start, like, there will be times where you are challenged, you are forced to make mistakes, learn from it, mess up. But what you're doing is going to be tough. So the minute you realise that, like I always say, I think I've said that to you before, Tony, this is tough doing this, and I'm like, good. Mm-hmm. Like, good, because you're tougher.
Aye.
Like, I'm quite big on that one. Like, I kind of, when I'm under that wee bit of strain, I think to myself now, I'm like, it's easy to say all these things when things are going well. How do you respond when you're under a wee bit of pressure? Like, when things do get a wee bit on top of you, like, what have you got for me? And I always kind of demand that for you, 'cause I do the same for myself. Like, now things are tough, like, how are you going to turn up? You're saying you want it, you're saying this, and that's just came from, because I know that the tough times don't go away. Like, you're going to keep experiencing as you go, but we are better than that. So keep cracking on. But I think anything you want to add before we go, or I'll let you do that.
Just kind of off the back of that, mate, like, embracing it. Like, that's what of course, you've got to perform good when your relationship's good and you're going out for a scram with your pals after it and you've got a night out and whatever else and you're excited to do it, but just suck it up. As harsh as that may sound, just suck it up, do what's got to be done. Quite
right, Tommy boy. Sweat the small things.
Yes.
When I do that, then we'll wrap things up. What have you got for me this week?
So, I may as well talk about training, and this is the way that I like to go about it, but I like to have a plan. Maybe a period, half an hour before to half an hour after my training. And it's not the usual, like, carbs, protein, work hard. It's no far off it. Anyway, I plan my training session out in the sense of, you can't do this all the time, like we've just said, but when I can, it's so effective for myself. So, going to the gym, I like to listen to music. And with some of my pals, I jump in the motor and it's Elton John and Dolly Parton.
Playlist.
I mean, your playlist is a good example, but for me personally, a wee bit harder. So,
That'll be Westlife.
I mean, nothing. It's not quite MC Tiny, but anyway, it's I think listening to the tunes, getting in the zone, getting focused, especially in these solo training sessions, will be very beneficial for you. So for me, that's worked a lot. Getting in the zone, getting my head in the right space, drinking my pre, whatever it may be, defib or whatever. Getting in the gym, having my sessions, we've spoke about this before, getting focused on the session, staying in the zone. Afterwards, I like to wind down, have a wee protein shake. I don't drive at the minute, get a wee run up the road, get the feet up, have a nice meal, and then sit and look back on everything. And I do that, I genuinely do. I sit and look back and go, was I good enough today?
Aye.
Did I show up the day? And 9 times out of 10 it's aye. So I think it's good to evaluate your training. So I do, in that sense.
Good.
What about you?
Sweat the small things. Obviously, I had Ocho Cerveza last night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do a wee cameo.
All right.
What we got here?
Oh, see that? That is gorgeous. That's what
Pit
that
stops,
is.
rise and shine. All the electrolytes you need. So, like I spoke about, there's some other brands of these, but they're pish.
Aye, they're rotten.
So, like I said, if you have come in for a night out, you've had a couple of beers, you need to have one of these. I'm just saying this because all the kind of big nights out that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Have one of these before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, have another one. No hangover. Pit stop, rise and shine, and hangover cure. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Aye.
We both know why I'm doing this.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, that's my sweat the small things this section. Get yourself a tub of this.
That's magic.
No hangovers over the Christmas period. Party away. Stay hydrated. Vamos.
Seriously though, it is great. It actually is. I use it every morning, along with the pit stop peach iced tea flavoured creatine that I mix in with it. 2 in 1. Very easy, very effective.
There we go then. Brilliant. Anyway, let's get these letters out. Let's get wrapped up.
Let's see what you've got for me this week.
Oh, I've been nice to you this week. I've asked you something quite, what do you call it? Sweet.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling you're lying?
If there's one liar here, we know who that is. I'll go first.
Right, okay.
What is the most chaotic night out you had in your youth? Ho, ho, ho. I'll tell you what. You'll be excited for this because it's definitely not that night where I took all my clothes off and went sleepwalking. So you're in for a treat in episode 5.
Aye, I look
What you
forward
got for
to
me,
that.
Tommy boy?
You what's my favourite sex position? Oh jeez, oh, the list is long, let me tell you that.
Horny boy.
Aye, I mean
Tommy boy, bonk. He's off to horny jail.
aye, that is it, mate.
Anyway, I think we're wrapping up on that
Aye.
note.
We are
We've got a
wrapping
lot
up.
of thinking to do about this coming week. Like you said, wrap things up.
Yeah.
Big thank you to everybody listening. Every week we'll keep saying that. It means the world to us.
Aye, it does.
Christmas is coming up. We're going to, as I say, map things out. We're going to get some good episodes coming up. But please, first of all, keep supporting because we need it.
Aye.
Like we say, we're just 2 scuddies now. We're trying to build this up. But more importantly, if there's anything you want to know, you want to talk about, you want us to discuss, messages. We've had so many good positive feedbacks. In the same breath, see if there's anything we can do better. Tell us. But like I said, look, make sure if you want us to go over it and let us know.
Aye, absolutely. Leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe. Share it.
All that nonsense.
That's it. Send it to your auntie. Send it to your uncle. Or just watch it in the house. It's up to you. Aye, watch it at your walk or
There
whatever.
we go. On that note, let's get up.
That's it. Get up!
There we go.